All right, yeah, it's pretty late here. It's 10:48 p.m. and I'm just trying to get this out because I had a burst of energy and I really owe it to the man who gave me this, and that would be Rio Murata. And of course, his tags and channel info are on screen. Wonderful guy, and he gave me this, so I should go over this sooner than later. I didn't really know what to think about it because it's a 100 speed film, and it's not a professional lineup film that I can tell, but there is some redeeming factors here. Like, well, it's a Fuji film stock that we don't have. What else is there to say? Because the world is Kodak in film, and Fuji, it really is hard to tell if they care, but they have Instax, so obviously they care, but not about this kind of thing, which is okay. I say begrudgingly, but I'm longing for a new product, and this is it. This is one of the greatest films I have ever used. I say one of the greatest because the greatest film I've ever used is probably still like Ektachrome or something, just because nothing compares. But just for negatives, this was up there. I can't like in my head think of a negative film that I really prefer too much over it after what I've gotten here. And it could just be, the background of everything. It could just be the scenery of what I'm looking at. Could be. But it's so clean looking. It's got great grain texture. It's got very nice, very even highlights. I like it. Light bleeds around things very pleasantly. And of course, it's film, it's going to, but I don't know. I'm hooked on this look for some reason. And I do have a lot of these photos here that, I've been removing dust from like a wild animal trying to get this done. It's such a pleasing color palette, especially as you transition from day to night, like when I was using this film. It's got the very nice, warm daylight look. And then it's not overdone either. It's just very pleasant, kind of nostalgic looking. And then it goes to this very deep, dark, and like black and green and very bright red color palette that shows through at nighttime. And that's, due to a lot of the artificial lights and whatnot. I really think it's a good look. I really enjoyed it because it just pops, man. Look at it. Everything really goes, especially when you get to the Kabukicho gates and everything. And I love night stuff with this. And yes, I was hand holding this the whole time. There were no tripods for this night. I think I only had the 24 to 105 mounted on the Elon 2 for this. I can't quite remember, but yeah, it turned out. So I was hand holding all of these. And Tokyo at night in these areas is definitely brighter than you think it is, but you're still gonna be down pretty far where you're gonna be like holding your breath a few times. I don't know. I personally thought that it was not a problem, but if we just look at the way that Fujicolor 100 gives kind of this expected, I guess, color palette to the city of Tokyo and the inner Kabukicho area, it's exactly as you'd kind of expect for how you'd want a film to look if you shot it over there. And I didn't get to do much night photography, just because I was too busy exploring, I guess. But when I did, and I used this film, it hits. It hit all the boxes, and I came out with it at the near end of the roll with these shots of, Kabukicho gates in the background and people just walking towards you. And, I remember that because there were like a few influencers like off to the left or right or whatever doing their own thing. And I'm like, well, I got a zoom lens, so I think I was at like 105 millimeters at the wide end. And I just handheld it, and I let it rip in landscape mode and portrait mode. And I don't know which one I like better. They're both nice. Let me tell you, the dust super hard to see in a sea of neon lights. I would love to, scan one of these a little bit better, but I don't really have a better scanner, so I'm probably not even getting the most dynamic range out of this or the best dust detection and stuff. If I could wet mount scan these, that would be ideal, because Silverfast or my scanner, or I don't know, it's just something about the dust detection I'm just not a fan of anymore. So it's really hard to just get a result that I like. And I don't know, maybe I'll get one of those like film brushes or something that just like brushes the dust off. I think they're like charged or something, like to pick up like dust particles. I don't know. I have to look into that. But it's cool. It's really cool that I'm able to use a film that doesn't exist here, and I got to use it where it's offered and actually got the best results of my entire trip. I was hoping for it because I didn't buy any slide film, and I really wanted the slide film color palette, and this kind of delivers that a little bit. So, pretty happy with it.